Well, Anthony Albanese should be getting worried because new polling today shows the coalition is inching closer to the prospect of minority government. Freshwater strategy polling shows that on a two-party preferred basis, the coalition now leads at 52%. Meanwhile, Labor's primary is tanking, down 2 points to 30%. And according to this poll, the coalition's primary is at 42%. Well, joining us to unpack is Freshwater Strategy Director Leo Shanahan. Leo, this is extraordinary polling. Can you tell us a bit more about these results?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, you say it's extraordinary. It's actually pretty consistent with the trend that we've had. We had a trend whereby 2PP effectively Labor fell behind a month ago and had fallen behind before. Now it's at 52-48 to the coalition. Now, that is, it is within the margin of error, but it's showing pretty consistently it's about 50-52 thereabouts. Now, the really worrying thing for Labor is that primary vote that's dropped down just to 30, with the coalition going up over 40 now, 42. Now, if that swing on a 2PP basis was reflected, and I should say swings are very rarely uniform.
Of course.
But if that swing was reflected at a federal election based on these results, we'd have a seat count of Labor just at 65 and the coalition at 75. So obviously on those numbers, the box seat to form a government. I should say, and Freshwater and our head of polling, Dr. Mike Turner, has said more likely on these numbers we're looking at about 70 seats for the coalition, but still very close between the two major parties.
And I should say he's a highly respected pollster by both political parties. Can you tell us which voter issues and concerns are shaping the results, are contributing to this momentum?
Yeah, well, it's that cost of living again, Sharri. I mean, it's been, I've spoken to you before about this, but look at that. I mean, it's cost of living in daylight. And really, cost of living and housing and accommodation are really a super issue in terms of the way in which it's viewed in the electorate, because housing and accommodation is very much the cost of housing and accommodation. That is interest rates, rent for renters, and interest rates for mortgage holders. So it's that issue and the inability, or the perception of an inability of this government to deal with that issue after it put it central in the last election, saying that it would.
Peter Dutton's also spent a good amount of time, a full fortnight of a parliamentary sitting period focusing on Albanese bringing in Gazans without proper security checks. How does this issue of immigration and national security feature in voters' concerns? Well,
it does increasingly actually figure in voter concerns. And concerningly for the Labor Party, it's very much an issue that the coalition historically has owned, and that trend is not going anywhere. In fact, it's gaining ground in terms of both immigration, national security, and this view of criminality as well, which is kind of tied up in the issue of concerns about refugees not having proper security checks, and those that were obviously released incorrectly into the community, and that were then
from the immigration detention saga,
detention, exactly.
Yep. All right, Leo Shanahan, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Sharri.